Hi, this is our section 2 on creating websites and blogs using WordPress, and this is an introduction to the dashboard. The dashboard is where you come when you sign up, and this is where you do all of your work. Now, it's very important that you know how to get to the dashboard. So when you first sign up, when you just log in, it takes you automatically to it. After you've done some work, remember you can go back to seeing how your website looks, back to your home page, by just clicking on the title. Once you're there, if you want to get back to your dashboard to do some more work, you either click on the up in your toolbar where it says dashboard, or you can also get to it by clicking any edit tag. That will take you to the dashboard. Now, there's lots of different things that you can do with the dashboard. In this little brief teaching video, I'm going to show you how to change the settings on your dashboard, which are the ones down at the very bottom of the list. Now, even though these are at the bottom of the list, these are the things that you probably want to change first of all, because you usually just set them up once and then you don't bother with them. So the most important things, you want to look at your site title and your tagline, and then just some of the other settings that are fairly automatic. Now, let me just go back and show you. Here is our site title, and here is our tagline. Now, it's important to understand that not every WordPress template even shows these. So when we go in a later video to the different templates, some of them don't show them. Some of them are in kind of funny places. Some of them are in really interesting places. So just keep that in mind, that that is not something that always shows up. But we wanted, with our particular church, the thing that I'm doing it for, our title, we want to have discover, develop, deploy. And instead of just another WordPress.com site, my tagline for the class is living life as God intended. So you can put whatever you want in there. You can change this at any time. The basic URL for your site that we did in the earlier video, for example, on this one, it's coastline, life in 3D. That can't be changed, but this can be changed. Also, depending upon how you use your template, you can just leave it blank. That's perfectly okay too. So that's how you do that. The next thing you want to change is your time zone. There's a drop-down menu here. Just put it on a time that is closest to whatever your city is. The date and the time format, I just leave those the same. You can have your week start on Sunday or Monday, whichever you prefer, with this little box here. Then you save the changes, and let's move on to the other things in the settings section. Okay, on writing, this one right here, this changes the size of the box that you enter things in. It's called the post box. We'll get to that in the next video. But I like to increase that to 20 or 25 because the 10 is just really short and little, and to me it's bothersome. So you can do that. On the categories, I'll show you how to create categories in a few minutes, but this one, if you don't assign a category, it puts them into uncategorized. That's kind of tacky looking, and later on you might have something like general Bible stories or strategy, or I think it's best to come up with a category other than just uncategorized. The default link category, unless you're linking to a lot, don't even worry about this. And the most important thing on your reading settings is pretty much just leave it the way it is, unless you have a really good reason to change it. Your latest posts, that's how most blogs are set up. You can have your front page be a static page, but when you're starting out, you don't even know what that means. A lot of these things, it just shows you the depth that you can go to in WordPress. You can do some really complex, very complex things with it, some very advanced things. But when you're starting out, you don't even need to mess with it. Don't increase the blog pages that show on your front page any more than 10. That makes way too long of a one. And WordPress automatically organizes them under the categories, so you don't need to do that. Um, uh, Syndication feeds, you don't need to worry about any of the rest of this. So just leave it the way it is, and just leave it the way it is. On the discussion settings, now this is important, because what this means is this is the control you have over your comments. And I'm a control freak, I admit it. But also too, I think when we're doing things related to the Bible, and when we want our stuff to represent the Lord, we want to have very careful control over this. Now, WordPress already has some very excellent spam filters in place that it's completely free. They do it for you in the background, but you still want to have control. So uh, I just, I do want people to be able to link to my site, or sites to link to me, and my blog to link to other sites. And so those are all automatic, and that doesn't bother you at all. But here's where we get to the important stuff. On comment settings, comment author must fill out name and email. I think that's really important. I don't want any anonymous things on my site. Threaded comments where people can see who replies to what, that's okay. Now, also, too, you can have WordPress automatically email you when someone posts a comment, or when a comment is held for moderation. Basically, that's kind of one and the same, because I have to be notified before it's okay. So I like those checked. And then I also think it's important that administrator must always approve the content, the comment. I want to approve my comments. I don't want anything automatically going in there. And so I think that's real important. Here it says comment author must have a previously approved comment. I'm going to actually uncheck this in my actual thing, because I really don't care about that, because I approve each one of them anyway. The enable sending comment replies via email. I love to be able to do that. When I then reply to someone, they get an automatic email on it. And allowing people to subscribe to comments, or subscribe to the blog, those are through what are called automatic RSS settings. Just go ahead and check them. That just could possibly bring more traffic into your blog, and we won't take time to explain that right now, but they're okay. Now, avatars, I really like these now, and I would encourage those of you that are members, and even if you're not a member, go on my site, and I have a little thing that shows you how to create what is called a gravatar. And that's actually what I have checked for people. I really like people to use their own little gravatar, and those are just really neat. It's a little, basically what it is, it's a little picture that you have of yourself that travels with you all over the web, and it's linked to a specific email. And so whenever you post a comment or anything like that, your little gravatar shows up. So those are just kind of neat. So I'd encourage you to do those. So, but you can do the settings there. And if people don't have the their custom avatar or gravatar, I just have this little cute little pattern that comes up, but you can select what you want on that. Also, too, I with the avatars, or gravatars, they're called different things like that. I only want G-rated ones. I approve all the comments, and so that's a double protection. But some people do naughty things, and so we don't want that on our sites. So anyway, we save the changes there, and then on privacy settings, by default, this comes up, I would like my site to be visible to everyone, and we're doing it for ministry, so that's usually what we want. However, when you're building a site, you might want to block it, have it just private while you're building it, or maybe if you have a seasonal one or something like that, and that gives you the ability to build your sites in peace. So if you would like to do that, that's just fine, but this is where you set that. You can go back and forth and change it at any time. So that's the most important thing that you need to do for starters in your dashboard.